I feel like yeah, I was gonna say it's been like 12 hours later. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I noticed it too, man. I did notice that too. Like 600 on Telegram and like 400 on Twitter. Sorry, I was pushing some stuff out. Yeah, I've been doing a lot. So I've been mostly in ordinals right now with like anonymous Bitcoin Club and like a few other projects. You missed out, dude. I got like a $3,000 airdrop for free. Yeah, you're all good. Splinterlands, yeah, Emma is. I actually talked to Emma earlier today. I haven't been doing Splinterlands at all recently. I'm just too busy with everything else. But Emma is still doing that stuff. What's your Twitter? Oh, that's right. Okay, I was looking up TSO. I don't know.
Yo guys, what is up? Welcome to TSO Crypto, your home for Crypto TA. I am your host Martin, and today we're looking at, well, Bitcoin keep dropping now. If you're catching this from live, welcome. If you're catching the replays, you know what to do. Hit the like, hit the bell, hit the sub, give us some Discord. We're all here. We're all great. How's it going, Jason, man? Thank you very much for joining me. What is happening with Bitcoin, man? We're getting a small drop. Market cap, let's get to it. Market cap dropping a little bit more. Coming to support, remember we talked about the zone getting down here to this level of 2.25 trillion. We're still there. Remember we said we could still drop farther down and still create this hidden divergence, which we're still trying to, connect. We don't have it against our size, just against the MACD. And with that, again, the possibility for us trying to hold this level and trying to move a little bit farther up. So if we do bounce at this area, we're going to be ranging. We could be bouncing over the 2.5 trillion market cap, right? That's what we're probably going to be heading for. If we do decide to bounce, if we drop, man, it's going to be a quick drop to that 2 trillion, and that's not going to be good, man. That's not going to be fun, right? So we don't want to go there. We want to try to hold and see where we go. But with that said, let's go into Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin sitting at 63,072. Not too bad. Not the best, but not too bad. If you remember, we talked about Bitcoin levels where we could drop areas where it didn't want to drop below. I was really hoping that we're going to hold up here at the 64,900, but we did talk about potentially even reaching the 60,423. What we said was we don't want to get a drop below that zone, so we don't want to be dropping below this area. Reason for it is a quick drop all the way down here to the 54,130. That's going to be doing a lot of damage. A lot of people are going to start getting scared, particularly those that bought at the top. They're going to be crying, and that's going to keep on fueling the stream. So we don't want that to happen, right? We want people to be happy. We want people to be, really, really happy with crypto so that we can get the bull run going. So hopefully we can get that and we can keep on bouncing. We're looking for this hidden divergence. Again, if you remember what I said, we could still drop to here on the shorter time scale, particularly the 4 hour, and look for that bullish divergence strong to develop. We're going to go to that time scale and see if we are still doing that strong bullish divergence. But again, we're still tracking this hidden and see if we try to get a bounce. Now, this hidden, for it to get us continuation, we need to get a rally above this previous high, which would have been the 73,662. So that's about 10K from where we're at right now. Other than that, any fails to get above there on a potential rally would lead to continuation to the downside, which at that point, let's say we try to rally here, right? So we try to rally, and then we fail, and we come back down, right? We might be trying to drop into this level, and then we could be going for that strong bullish. But until then, right now, as we're looking for a potential movement back up on Bitcoin, at least for the day, potentially, and try to see if we can get above 64,900. That's the target to beat for today. If we get above that area, again, next target is going to be here at 66,994. Otherwise, so long as we close above the 62,423, I'm going to be happy, okay? That's it for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has hit bullish, so it makes me feel a little bit neutral, but we know overall the market is bearish because we have that strong bearish overhead, okay? Let's go check out the 4 hour chart. By the way, tonight we're going to be revisiting a project from yesterday that we talked. Remember, we talked about Coco, and Jake is here. Jake is here, so we're going to be discussing Coco with Jake, and we're going to see what we're going to be doing there, or what's happening with that project. Particularly, I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen with that project. Now, guys, if you remember, we had this bullish divergence in the 4 hour. We said we tried to rally and we fell at this level. And if you remember what I was looking for, and I told you guys yesterday, is I'm hoping that we get a small drop, particularly to the zone. That way we were still going to hold it for 64,900. We'll still have that divergence. And even we said if we could drop even more, but depending on how we drop is going to determine whether or not we are holding to that strong bullish. So the only thing that's making me happy here is that we're starting to develop strong bullish in the 4 hour. All right. So we had yesterday the hidden bullish. Now we have the hidden bullish plus, the hidden bullish here and strong bullish here. Now, so if we were to anchor from back here, that would probably still track all the way back here. But we're good at where's that? And here it's still coming up a little bit lower. So on this move here that we're having, we're not creating that bullish divergence. It will just be on this smaller move here for Bitcoin. Okay, so that move that goes like that. Now, with all that said, Bitcoin trying to get some kind of recovery. And it's going to be good. It just started on this 4-hour candle. Closing above 60,423 is going to be key. Closing below that area, it's not going to be good, right, for the 4-hour candle. It can give us to where we start going for a resistance here, and that's going to lead us down here to the 54,233. That there's really, like we said yesterday, not a lot of supports at this zone. So we want to hold onto it as much as we can, okay? So holding on to this level, very important. 4-hour chart. We had the bearishness, remember, even strong bearish here at the all-time high when we said it was a resistance, and then we've just been dropping since. We didn't have any hidden bullish. Remember, we were dropping in lower, or we started coming lower. We said there was nothing here, and there's still nothing here as far as bullish divergence goes from the move here to the move here. Now, after this dip, and upon rejection of the 64,900, we are starting to create some strong bullish divergence, right? And the strong bullish divergence could come with a potential for a movement up. Now, the only thing that I don't like is that we don't have anything of this nature, right, that is bullish divergence strong, on the daily. We just have it on the 4-hour and the 1-hour. Again, we need on the daily for it to play out with a lot more strength. So this could get us to where we're starting to stagnate on the daily, maybe try to hold on to that resistance zone that we said, 62,000 zone. Now here we had this bullish divergence strong while being oversold, right? Oversold at 33.48. So again, bullish divergence strong, action to the upside. We must get above 64,900. Otherwise, we really just need to hold. Well, here we have it at 60,800, but on the daily we know it's around here, 62,000 and change. And that is that yellow line that we're going to have here at 60,423. That's the area we want to hold by all means, okay? So with all that said for Bitcoin, let's jump on to Ethereum. Let's jump off to Ethereum and see what's going on there, man. Again, very similar to Bitcoin getting that drop, 3,200. Remember, we said, and there's going to be a line probably somewhere around here, where we said Bitcoin wanted to stay, sorry, Ethereum would want to stay above the 3,500. Otherwise, it was going to be a quick drop to the 3,200 zone, right? And I think there's going to be a support that's going to pop up here soon. I'm just waiting for it to load, as always, because for some reason, trading takes forever. So there we go, right? Look at that, beautiful. So we said if we drop here, we're going to have support, or try to hold support at 3,300, and then below there, 3,158. Whereas, guess where we went? Straight off to that support. And then we said we don't want to drop here because then it's just down here, 2,800 and change. Now, if you remember, we fibbed this sucker yesterday and went like this, and we said, oh, look, we fibbed from a high to low. Well, it's being respected. Guess what? We're very, very close to a 50% retrace, and we said we might even drop as low at the 618, which at that point in time we're basically asking for the 2,891, right? We didn't do fits for Bitcoin today. We did them yesterday. We might retrace to Bitcoin or later in the stream and then just, talk about this. But for now, that's it for Ethereum. Again, hit bullish, try and hold, see if it's going to do it. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it will. And if it does, then, we're going to be in for a nice potential move up. This is barely there again. I'm just going to zoom in. And you can see that we're dropping ever so slightly, okay? So bullish divergence hidden on MACD and our side. Again, with that potential for us holding at this level. Again, a key support. And we're going to be trying to hold on to that zone. So good for Ethereum. Now, if you remember, we were asking for the same thing. If you remember when we were doing this, I said that we want to drop slightly lower, right, and get that bullish divergence going. I think Ethereum kind of had it yesterday when we were looking at this, but we're still holding on to it even as we were getting this drop. Where we don't have it, I think we're not going to have it, is here, right? We're coming in slightly lower. So against the RSI is not there, but against the MACD, it is. So bullish divergence strong, potential for action to the upside. If we do get that rally coming in, man, that's going to be good. That's going to be getting us to where we, try to get above the zone. So if you look at Ethereum, much better here on the 4-hour. Again, rejection at 3,539. Coming back down, losing that support, and now facing it as resistance at 3,324 before we dropped to the 3,158. Now we're trying to bounce. Okay, so good stuff happening here. Let's go to the 1-hour. On the 1-hour, we're looking for the bullish divergence, right? We kind of lost this one that we were looking for here, this smaller one. That would have been this one, right? And I think we might have also lost this one. So if we zoom in here, right, look at that. All one island, more negative momentum. So anything that was bullish for Ethereum, we got rid of. It's no longer there, right? It's no longer there. We don't want that. We want stuff that's going to be helping us. Now let's go to the smaller move. This move here, just like with Bitcoin, right? Look at this. Bullish divergence strong on this last bit. That's why we're holding on to that key zone of support. Right against the MACD, against the RSI. Hopefully it's going to get us to hold and we get that small bounce going in. Bring Fact says, what's up, OG? So I'm just hoping it's, maybe you already mentioned, is your microphone off? My microphone should be on. Am I all weird or something? Let me know. Because I've been talking and no one said anything. I thought it was coming up fine. Because I can see here my mic moving as I am talking, and it's actually going on to the good levels. So it's coming all the way up here. So I'm not sure. Let me know if my mic's weird or something. Awkward. Jake says it's fine, and I'm not sure. Maybe, man, maybe. I'm not sure. If someone else can say something here on the chat as to whether or not the mic is off, let me know. Everything should be fine, I think. I can see everything moving loud and clear, and music is at a good volume where it shouldn't be really overpowering anything. Let's see. I'm going to actually drop the music down a little bit, and then I'm going to regain it here as well. So we're going to be bringing in Jake a little bit for audio. So music should be okay. All right. There we go. All right. I hope that does the trick. All right, Ethereum, again, look for that bullish divergence to come into play and help us reach the 3,224, hopefully breaking above it, and then see where we go from there, right? You can hear me fine, but the quality isn't as great as yesterday. Okay. Weird. Let me see why that could be the case. Let's see. Is it better now? Wow, that really went into the red. Is that better? Let me know. All right. So there was probably something off with the audio. All right, that's weird because I was seeing everything move properly on my end. Awkward, but I'm glad you guys can hear me and that I sound better now. Great stuff. All right. So in lieu of the bad audio, I'm just going to recap real quick the markets. And then I'm going to go to Jake because we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk to him about the other project, the Cocoa. And then we're going to come back into that. Right, so let's see. I'm not sure why the audio is coming in from another source, I think. But it's weird because I don't have any other microphones plugged in. And that was just straight up awkwardness. All right. So real quick, right? Recap. Daily. Bitcoin. Hidden bullish. Dropped. Again, we were trying to hold the 64,900. We failed. Right now, we are below this key zone, 60,423. We don't want to close below here. Trust me, confirming this is a resistance gets us to where we drop down here to the 52,119. I mean, it's great if you want to buy at that level. It is retrace. We're still in a bull market. Yeah, it's fine for as far as retraces go, right? We've talked about levels the other day, and we said we're going to fib this later, and we're going to fib it later. But for now, again, just a quick recap. 4-hour chart, right? We had the bullish divergence strong developing. We are trying to close above this zone. We got to close above the 60,423. Super important. Otherwise, we could be in for trouble. Again, bullish divergence against the MACD, against the RSI on this last year bit. And then on the 1-hour chart, we also have the bullish divergence on this last year drop. Again, creating that strong bullish for potential movement up. Now, it doesn't look like the bears are in control. Sorry, it doesn't look like the bulls are in control. It looks like the bears kind of want to take over and help us move farther down, which we don't want to do. So let's go check out Ethereum. All right, Ethereum, where are we at? Waiting for it to load. That's where we at. Do I think we're in wave 4 before going to wave 5? We need to check for waves. I wasn't checking for Elliott waves. I usually don't like Elliott waves. I think it's much of a lagger. And it has a lot of conditions that you have to meet for it to play out. But we could look for Elliott wave in a second. All right, so hidden bullish again, holding out support, key zone here, 3,158. We already discussed that and how and why we wanted to hold that level. That stuff from the 1 hour, we're going to anchor it there once we get there. But again, hitting bullish, holding at key support, right? We've talked about potentially dropping below the zone of where we'd go, hitting it spot on and trying to hold it. So that's good. Next target. Bullish divergence strong, holding this here zone. 3,158, right? Strong bullish, trying to hold. But again, ultimately, following Bitcoin. Bitcoin keeps tanking. This is going to tank with it. No denying it. There's really nothing we're going to be able to do about that once that happens. I'm just hoping that, whatever it is that ends up going on here, we're going to be able to basically push through it and, deal with the way Bitcoin rolls. There's really nothing else. We can have all the bullishness in the world, but if Bitcoin don't play ball, we're just going nowhere. Bullish divergence strong here also in the 1 hour, right? Just like Bitcoin. So very, very close and similar to what Bitcoin's doing. This thing here should no longer be here. We kind of lost that. We lost that privilege when we came here. All right, let's anchor this here real quick. And then I'm going to go over to Jake. Because Jake's going to tell us about the project we looked at yesterday. The Cocoa. We're going to go Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. Right? For Cocoa Pepe Cryptos. All right, let's go on to Cocoa Meme Token. And I'm going to bring Jake in. One quick second. And I think if I did everything right, I think you got to be able to hear Jake here. What's up, Jake? How's it going? Jake, you're muted, by the way. Remember. Just remember that DAO is muted.
Okay, I'm here.
All right, and I assume you guys could hear Jake because I saw his bar moving. Just someone give me confirmation on the chat that you guys can hear Jake. All right, good. Fact says yes. I'm not sure if he was saying yes to you becoming millionaire this year or multimillionaire, or yes to the fact that he could hear you. But I think he was saying that yes, he could hear you. All right, Jake. Project Cocoa, the token. What's it about? Give us some grasp, because I was looking at the project and what it was trying to do and understand where it was at. And we looked at the charts and we saw a giant spike followed by an insane drop that it's kind of plateauing. But again, just trying to understand where the project was coming from and why that spike is happening. So tell us a bit about the project and what drew you into it, basically.
Last year, July, Kero on Twitter, which is KERO NFTS, Kero's NFTs, released a new Pepe friend, Coco, who's a crocodile that looks very similar to Pepe, like Bobo does and Moo Moo and all these other Pepe friends. And after he released it, it just kind of went out into the wild. And I mean, people were making everything, there's rare Coco directory now, like rare Pepes, so there's rare Cocos, and they're on season 3. There's Coco on Solana, which Kero did as snaps. There's Coco on ETH. There's multiple Coco on ETH NFTs. There's one by Kero. There's one by Snow Kid. The one that Snow Kid did is actually an incentive to burn the Coco ETH token, so they cost 8.5 billion Coco or something, which is $10 or whatever it is. But you would burn that Coco, you get a Coco AI NFT from Snow Kid. The Kero Coco NFTs, there's only 200 of them. They're going for about 0.18 Ethereum right now. Kero's Snap Solana project raised $10 million in 24 hours. But the Coco ETH token has been here since July. It's been 8 months. We've just been steadily building. It was a community takeover. So basically, Kero released Coco the day after some anonymous developer was like, hey, I'm going to make an Ethereum token. Released it. Kero said, hey, this is cool. As long as you don't burn the community, I'm fine with it. And he ended up deleting the socials. He sold his bag of Coco for I don't know, zero point 0.5 Ethereum or something. So the old developer's gone, and part of the community was kind of sour by that. So we ended up taking over. We paid the Dex Tools fee. We made a new Telegram. We made a new Twitter, and we updated everything and just kept running it, kept promoting it, kept saying, hey, this is the same contract, same community. We're still here. We're still building. And we've been doing that for 8 months. And I mean, if you look at my Twitter, I was telling people about Coco when it was like $20,000. It's like at a $500,000 market cap right now, all-time high of $5 million market cap. And that was within like 24 hours. It went from a $200,000 market cap to a $5 million market cap. And I mean, if you just look at the memeability of Coco alone, it's like it's right up there with Pepe. Like it's already memed into like $1 billion market cap. You just need to look at it, and like, I mean, even if you're putting like $100 in here or there, like I was dollar cost averaging for 8 months. I was preaching it on my Twitter, telling people like, hey, just look at this. And I mean, if people could be up like more than 10%, more than like 20% right now, just where it's at right now, and it's still gonna go another 100 or more percent. Like, it's just ridiculous because of the memeability of it. But it's community driven. A lot of our stuff is open source on GitHub. Our website is open source. Our white paper is open source. You can check it out. You can make changes. Like, it's all community driven. We have Twitter, Telegram, Discord, all run by the community.
Nice. So the project comes along, about, you said July of last year, and is now taking over the community. What's the direction that this is going to be taken now? So I noticed that on the website, well, it hasn't been updated as of October 2023, where it says over the 15 trillion, what is it? 3.62% has been sent to the burn address. Now, is that number going up? What is the number at right now as far as burned tokens? How fast is this being burned? How much is still left in circulation? I think a lot of people, when it comes to the smaller projects, are afraid of just it's the next hot thing, and then everyone's gonna get burned. So everyone wants to make sure that whatever they're gonna get into, that's not gonna be the case. So, that it's a legit project. So tell us, why this is happening, why it's being burned, and how this is different because the community is involved, and there's not just one person that's directing everything.
So there's two like main burn events, and one of them was Kiro because the old developer had sent him 12.5 trillion Coco that Kiro ended up just burning. So that's 12.5 trillion Coco just gone, which at today's prices could be, I don't know, like $15,000 or something or more. But then the other incentive is Snow Kids, one of our current other admins, made a contract for AI Coco NFTs that if you burn, this much Coco, which at current rate is, I think, like I said, 8.55 billion or something. And it used to be a lot more. It used to be like, 250 billion or something. But since the price of Coco has gone up, he's lowered the cost of minting or burning or whatever. But I mean, that alone has already burned a few trillion Coco just from that incentive. So out of the 420.69 trillion Coco that was originally available, there's only about like 408 trillion circulating or available in the supply. With it possibly going down more depending on how many people mint the remaining supply of the AI Cocos, which there's only going to be 420 total. But yeah, I mean, it's just been a steady run.
All right, and as far as the project goes, we did tend to see when we go into the charts, we see a large spike that happened. So, this large spike that went on, on 15th of March, so a couple of days ago, right? It went up like some insane percent, like 3,000% or something like that.
And
that correlated directly with Kiro's announcement of his Solana pre-sale for Snap. Within 24 hours of him announcing that, we had $5 million of volume. And I mean, Kiro was the original creator of Coco, so it's, a no-brainer that people would do a little research and find out that he was the original creator of the Coco meme, and that's what the Coco ETH token is based off of.
all right. So all right. So basically the reason why this spiked is because the original creator of the project is launched a different project and people started researching and they just happened to fall in here. You told me there were some insane volumes that were being purchased. Like people were purchasing like $10,000 worth of this stuff. Like
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
that during
earlier
that
today
spike
there
time,
was
or was it today still?
no, there was a purchase earlier today of 10,000, but at the same time there seems to be a few like either market makers or a few people that are just trying to profit a little bit because that person that bought 10,000, I mean they're flipping here and there the 10,000 and making not even $100 here and there. So I mean there definitely a few whales. I mean I'm one of the whales. We have a few whales in the admin. The Discord is actually set up that if you have like 5 trillion Coco or more, you can verify as an admin through the bots. Like no, user, like anything. You just verify through the bot. You're an admin. You can add, remove channels, this, that, the other. So it's very, very community based token. But at the same time, like 5 trillion tokens, when it was like $20,000 market cap, was not that much, and that's when we set the Discord admin role threshold.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about lowering it, but at the same time, I mean, people that have that whale status can just come over there and verify and help the community out. I mean, we have a lot of people that have been helping the community out. Like just this last week, our team went from maybe like 4 or 5 people to closer to like 8 or 9. And with that said, it is a community driven project. This whole like team that we have is a community that has been here for 8 months that was basically almost rugged by the previous developer that just
Right.
deleted our socials and all that. And we were like, we are not going to take this sitting down. We're going to overcome this and become what this coin is supposed to be, like up there in the tiers of Pepe and Bobo and all that stuff. So I mean,
All right.
it's severely undervalued at this time. If anybody just like looks at the memeology of things, like it's so undervalued.
Right. So, you said the community, the admin portion has grown, and part of the question that I have is the team, the core team, the whales that are on the, admins per se. Like, is it like a varied team of individuals from like all over the place, or most of them U.S. based, or like most of them Asia
Yeah,
based?
we
Like,
got
are they from?
people
Yeah, go ahead.
we yeah, we got people in Thailand and South Africa and like
Right.
literally all over the world. So like there's sometimes like when I'm going to bed and one of the other admins is basically waking up. So like I mean we got the international stuff covered. Like even our Discord, like we just implemented a bot recently that will auto translate from the general chat to like 6 or 7 different languages from like Chinese, Russian, German,
Right.
Spanish, like all that. So like we're really trying to help internationally like communicate what is going on. And I mean we're actively looking for more like Chinese people that can help moderate our chats and stuff, or even create like a sister chat that is just Chinese for like Telegram, for example, and stuff like that. Where like
Right.
we were just talking about that earlier today, because like we've been getting a lot more Asian influence, and I've seen a couple like Chinese ENSs and stuff be like buying Coco and stuff. And I mean stuff's about to just get crazy. I was talking to one of the other
Right.
admins today, and like it's just like this is the calm before the storm. Like we hit 5 million market cap within 24 hours. Like there is no reason. There's nothing stopping us from going to like 10 million or $100 million market cap.
Right. So a couple things that I like from what you've said so far is that one, the team is international, meaning that there's probably someone always from the team that's online to, answer questions and things of that nature. And the other thing that I like is that, what you said as well, that it's a community-centric project, And with that in mind, basically, all that happens here is decided by, the community, however many shares they might have. So it's not like everything is just the interest of one person that is being represented. Is basically the interest of the community that are being represented. And I think that makes it for like a rug pull to happen when just one person. It's easy for them to go in and just like do a rug pull. But when you said this was going to happen and the community kind of took over and didn't allow for this to happen, and now the community is still trying to get the project to go on even without the developer and all that other stuff, I think that speaks a lot. And it really calms down the nerves where this might be a rug pull, because by looking at the charts, and if we look at any other asset basically that trades, that is a small cap project or started a small cap project that has been a rug pull of types, we tend to see similarities where there's a huge spike and then the price just goes down and just keeps on going down and it just goes down forever. So here we can see that there was an initial spike and then went down.
Yeah, that already happened like back in July. Like we had our initial spike and then we were in the trenches for like 7 months basically, and I was DCAing the whole time because I knew that this was something that if people just looked at and realized what it is, like they would be like, this is a given.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, I DCA'd the whole time, and finally, like we finally broke resistance up to like 200K, and that was what our old resistance was like 8 months ago, was at like 200K. And I made a tweet before we exploded, like the day before we exploded. I was like, hey, look at this chart. We are literally about to explode. And like people had the opportunity to make, a 20x rate then. And when we went to $5 million market cap. But I mean, like I said, we've been grinding for 8 months. Like there is nothing that can stop us at this point. Like we have a community fund. We're working on like so many different things for the community, by the community. I mean, Hash Brown also. Like I've been talking with him. We're getting some worked on by him already. Like we are basically ready to go. And the next time we pump, it's probably not going to stop at $10 million. That's all I'm saying. Like it's memed in already.
Right. So you think the project's going to pump again and it's going to keep on rallying. So far, the good things that I like, well, it's that it's still above the previous all-time high, which are the two blue lines that I just drew here on the chart, by the way. So if people are watching, they might be saying, like, why is this guy drawing there? Well, I was looking for the previous all-time highs when Jake was talking about it. That's when the initial spike happened before the price dropped and, the community kind of took over. And that's what Jake basically was telling us here that was going to be going on. So since then, price is still there. It has wigged those levels, but it has not dropped below. As we can tell the wick here from yesterday, we saw that being wigged there and then holding still. Now, something else that is going on here that I was kind of worried about, when I was looking at this, is if I was just to fib this, and I'm just going to bring it onto the 4 hour to make it more, make a little bit more sense. It's not going to look really hot because, that circle is more or less what I was looking for as far as a movement. So I want to see that on the 1 hour. But what worries me here is that if we were to fib this, right, like we usually do with the other projects, and Jay, you're probably already aware how this is going to work. Once we draw our fib lines and we figure out like where we're at, we're doing a really, really deep retrace. We kind of held at 786, but now the project's at a level where it could drop to the zero line or the initial line back here, the one. And that's just, that would put me on edge if I was looking at this, as far as it's going. I understand the project has risen a lot of value and it's still holding, some good market cap. What are steps that the community are taking to ensure that market cap is preserved and is not going to be dropped? I mean, you mentioned there's a lot of things going on with the project, and the project had a good spike, so there was a lot of interest. So some of this money is starting to go away. What is the community gonna do to make sure that these funds kind of like remain and they don't drop back down to the previous all-time high? Like, go from here and continue growing. So what's the next steps here on the roadmap or the plans that are out that are going to be outlining the next 2, 3, 4, 5 days or even the next couple weeks where this project is going to basically take off again? Because for it to take off again, there has to be continued interest. If the interest starts to die,
We
then
have
yeah,
we
go
have a
ahead.
lot of support. Like I said, I've been DCAing for 7, 8 months now. We have a few admins that have been doing the same, that have also held capital on the sidelines, like
Yeah,
waiting for it to come back down to do this. Like even I, when it like came back down, because like when it went up, like of course I took a little bit of profit, but as soon as it came back down, I put another like $2,000-3,000 right back into it.
yeah,
Like, and I'm not the only one. I'm also trying to get Snowkind into the voice chat, like the regular voice chat on
yeah.
your Discord. I'm seeing if he's able to do that. But sorry, I got hiccups too.
It's all good.
But no, I mean we have definitely a lot of support. There's a lot of people that have been dollar cost averaging, that have been buying the dips, that have just been like waiting for opportunities like this. Because I mean we were at 1.5-2 million dollars for like almost 24 hours, and people were worried that we weren't gonna dip again for them to be able to get a good price entry. Like, and now that we are, we're seeing these pretty average buys of like anywhere between $50 to like $500 of like regular people, but we're also seeing these buys that are like $2,000 to $10,000 every once in a while. Like whales are definitely still getting in, and I mean, it hasn't trickled out to all the alpha communities or all the communities yet. Like I said, we don't even have 500 people on our Twitter followers. I remember seeing Pepe when it was at 600 Twitter followers, and
Yeah,
I faded it. And that was one of my rules, was to just never fade Pepe or never fade like anything Pepe, which, Coco is exactly that. It's like it's a Pepe adjacent friend. But like when I faded Pepe, it was at 600 followers. It went up to like 10,000, 12,000 something. And I was like, all right, I'll buy some Pepe. And I finally bought some Pepe, and I made enough to buy a car. And like, I saw the same exact thing with Coco. Like, there's a lot of community support. There is so much going on with it. The meme ability, the foundation of it, the history. Like, we've had 8 months of history. Like, it's destined for 100 million to $1 billion market cap. Like, whatever,
yeah.
regardless of whatever anybody says. Like, if you just look at it, outside of the perspective, like that's what it's destined for. And that's why I've been telling people since it was $20,000 market cap to just look at it. Just look at it, because that's what it's gonna do. And I mean, we touched $5 million market cap in 24 hours, and it didn't even phase me, because I knew that something like that was gonna happen. And
Right.
I'm just waiting for it's going to $100 million market cap, and if people don't see it for what it is, they're gonna miss out. And I'm just trying to let people know what it is.
Right. So, project wise, so yesterday I was talking about this. I said, yes, there's some bullish divergence, potential for a movement up, right? And we were talking about this move where, we were looking for that
Okay, so
to hold.
real quick, if we
Yeah.
can move to your voice chat channels to the general chat, Snowkind is in there. He's one of our
All
other
right.
admins, Snow Kid.
Cool. Yeah. We can move there. Yo, what's up, dude? Snow, you're muted, by the way.
All right, there we go. I think I'm in here too now.
Yep. All
Yeah,
right.
Snowkind if Snow Kid will unmute himself, he's actually a better speaker than I am.
All right. And what I was looking for yesterday was this bullish divergence. Okay. While he unmutes himself, we're looking for that movement up again. We're starting to get some of that movement up. I was trying to look at percentages because for some reason, when I just measure, it's not giving up the percentage points when we're in this site. But looking from the low that we had, right, at 7 in the morning, it went up almost by 100% just yesterday. So, just buying this project, it's not a big value that you have to sink into it. That's what I was looking at. It's so low in price that basically anything that you buy, you can put like, $5 into it, $10 into it, $100 into it, whatever you have spare, basically, that you're not gonna miss, and you have a lot of upside to go here, right? It just could be going basically anywhere as far as the value is concerned, right? So if you're willing to risk whatever, if you have like $5 spare and don't know where to put it, or just are trying to figure out what project might be good, this could be a hidden gem. Again, I cannot guarantee any kind of results from it, right? But this could be one of those projects that has potential, right? Best case scenario, you would have gone 100% today, almost 94%. You would have made, $5 more bucks. You would have put five. You would have been able to make a little bit more. Otherwise, it just drops and you just lost $5. I always say just don't put anything more you're willing to lose into any asset, into any trading for this project, and understanding a little bit more where it comes from and why that spike was, and some of the things that were happening that we couldn't explain yesterday. That makes me a little bit more at ease. All right. So
Hey, check 1 2.
yo, yes, what's up? We
You
can
can hear me.
Yes.
I'm sorry I'm late. I
So
live
good,
in
man.
Bangkok, and I'm drinking some coffee, and you guys are talking about cocoa,
Yeah.
and I'm getting jealous over here listening on the
Cocoa.
YouTube. I thought you were streaming from YouTube, so but apparently you're streaming from Discord.
Oh, I'm streaming on YouTube, but we're
Yeah,
chatting
I
on Discord.
saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait. I was trying to send messages in the YouTube, like to try
Yeah.
to figure out like
Yeah.
how to do what. So,
So good.
anyways, yeah. If I'd love to elaborate on some of your ponderances if you have
Yeah, go for it, man.
them.
Go for it. We've been discussing a couple of things. Jake's pointed out some other things. He said you were probably the better speaker, but he wasn't sure if you were going to be able to make it, mainly because of the time difference. But I'm glad that you're here, man. Okay, guys. So we have Snow Kid on the line as well. He's also one of the, I guess we could say, I'm not going to say founders, but I want to say one of the community members that is an administrator of the project, right? Would that be a proper assessment?
I would like to say that I am an OG
All right.
because I was there when Caro made the meme. I was there months before Caro made the meme. Actually, he had a project called Bonk,
All right.
and I was building a AI bonk NFT that never came out. And the reason I was building it was to kind of sharpen my skills on AI, but also to support Caro because I thought his stuff was really cool, and like I like the idea that he was sort of like an old school NFT artist who is connected to the Pepe clan in various ways, and I thought it was a nice guy to show a lot of support for, so I decided to build a project around it, and then one day he put this post out on Twitter talking about Coco, and I wake up at this time of the day, so it happened a couple hours before I was even awake, and I saw that somebody had made a token for it, and I'm more of a token side investor because I've bought a lot of NFTs, but it's really hard to like kind of make ends meet with NFTs. You kind of get lucky or you don't,
Yeah.
So what happened was I talked to him because we're in regular like voice chats and stuff. I said, "Is that your cryptocurrency?" And he's like, "No, some guys like approached me and they asked me if I wanted to make a currency." And I said, "I don't want anything to do with it. I want people to not get rugged." That was his comment. He didn't want it to be a rug. And they said, "Okay, well, we'll do it." Right. And it became sort of like a liquidity farming token for the first couple of months, where if you know anything about the Uniswap pools, the token comes out on the pool, the value goes up, the people who bought early sell into the volume, they collect their ETH, and then they go away, right? And they have a couple guys that do like social integrations, and those guys kind of like hype the token up, and they start fudding it when they want the price to go the other way, and then eventually they fud it to pull the rug, and that's exactly what happened in the early days with Coco, right? And then what happened was is those guys had set up a a couple vaults, okay, and those vaults were for token allocations, right? They had one that had 20 trillion in it for exchanges and another 20 trillion for marketing, right? And they used this as the fund to actually kill the token, right? So like, and their concept was, okay, we want it dead, right? So they kind of like disappeared, and these vaults kind of lived, right? So like, so the final dump was them selling those vault tokens, right? So now at this point, I have cryptographic evidence on a Medium post actually that says what dates those allocations had gotten sold, and we can look at those transactions and say, yes, this these guys are long gone. I also have some analytics software that looks at the early Uniswap traders, the guys who bought the stuff at -0, and like they're all gone too. So and to further that up, like I don't even know what happened, but like about 3 months ago, the price like 5x out of nowhere, right? And and I kind of believe that any bots that might be remaining at that point were long gone, right? So like at that point, I kind of said, okay, well, I'm going to start accumulating myself, and I'm going to accumulate for the community as well. So what I did was I started up this Coco community fund, right? And the concept behind that was to allow people to donate to keep Coco alive, right? And since we've collected over 11 trillion Coco, and my goal was to get 20, right? So like I don't really want to intimidate people with the size of the wallet, but I want to have enough to actually be able to operate, right? So we didn't really get enough to operate with 11 trillion, right? So so anyways, that's kind of what got the community kind of fired up, right? And then I met some people, and I found out that we have some friends that are capable of moving interest in the right direction, and we also have some people that are interested in making the token, better support, right? Like we want to have like a unified look. We want to have people in the Discord maintaining the chat rooms, and also in other social media platforms, and like and basically that's kind of been sort of the initiative at the moment, is to get the community communicating, right? So like right now I've had a lot on my plate. I've been working on the CMC application during this entire thing, because once you have a volume event like that, you want to get listed, right? I turned that a couple days ago, and to do that, I had to do all kinds of crazy hoops and stuff. Like I had to make a server with additional endpoints that contain the supply dynamics and these kind of things. So like that was a really complicated task, and I'm doing this while the whole price is going to infinity, right? So like it was just kind of crazy, and like so that was all going on. But I also told Caro about 2 weeks before any of this happened, and and we were in that pre-accumulation stage. If you look at the PA before the first God candle, you can see that we had actually 4x'd before that happened. And like and if you consider, I actually sent Caro a message, and I said, Caro, I'm gonna market the token, and I actually like have 2 ETH set aside for that right now, and like and at that point, and Carol was like, cool, let's fucking go, right? And I'm like, okay. And then rumors started kicking around about like what's going on, and the price started moving, and we were I haven't even begun that process, right? And like that process is like a 2-month long kind of procedure where we're going to go over the website, we're going to go over the Telegram graphics being used in the like the shields and stuff like that, to make sure that the experience for the user is fucking amazing, excuse my French, right? So like that's kind of the concept there, right? So I called Caro up, and then out of the blue, I see this this random ass post from Carol. Hey, guys, you wanna start a token on Solana?
Right.
And I'm like, holy shit, right? So I look and I see that like he put an address out on Solana, and I'm like, wait, this is he has got to have been hacked. There's no way that this is Carol, because I've had
Yeah.
conversations with him where he's like, I do not want another crypto. He was complaining that Bonk had a lot of liability attached to it, and there were people that had lost a lot of money on Bonk, and there were all these people that had lost a lot of money on this token at that point, which is kind of one of the main reasons I was pushing so hard to build this back, because I know that there's a lot of people that lost money, including myself, like I bought the top of that, initial farming,
Yeah.
and I'm well more aware of that situation now. I've learned a lot. And so anyways, I'm sitting here looking at this wallet, and it's like $1 million, 2 million, and soon it's $10 million. And while that was happening, our token just started going nuts. And like, but the thing is I don't think he would have even had the impetus to start a token if I didn't call him and tell him I was going to start marketing, because I think
Yeah.
this was sort of like a control grab, like, oh yeah, well, we
Right.
could kill that Coco token if we open up a Solana token, because I know his friends, and I know they're kind of questionable regarding this, and I kind of like saw their attempts at killing the token before, and I thought that this was sort of a play to put us out of misery.
Right.
And the beauty of it is that our token went from 30K to $5 million, and their
Wow.
token woke up and 2x'd.
Right. So, as far as the future of the project, like what's in store for the next couple of days, couple of months? As I was saying, it's important to understand, what's going on and to keep the project alive. So you have a community, you have moderators. A lot of the guys are, from the community that they have purchased a token. So what's in store for Coco coming up? Like what are you guys gonna do to hold on to the attention and the market cap that you guys currently have? Because that's going to be key. I mean, right now you were in the eye of the storm, so to speak, right? Everyone was looking at it because this post that came out about the other project that the creator of this token came out with, and now all of a sudden you have a lot of attention and people are buying it, but now you're starting to get a drop and decline. Well, like what's the next couple of steps to keep the attention going, to keep people engaged on the project and keep buying the project? And where's ultimately the goal where this is gonna go? As a project, there must be an ending goal as to what it's trying to achieve and accomplish. So, that I think that's important to understand, particularly if people want to become investors, right? They want to know what they're basically putting their money into, and what returns they're going to get, not just of the money they're putting into, but also from the project, right? If you want to buy a meme, what else is going to be going on with that meme? Why is it going to be going up in price? And what else is going to be driving, or what is going to be the driving factors behind the success of Coco, So if you can elaborate a little bit on that, I think that's going to help a lot of people also, clear some doubts as to, that there's a plan for the project and where this could go in the short to mid term. Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing, I want all short-term people to get the fuck out, and I say that because this is not a short-term play. You can call it a short-term play and try to trade it, but the floor is going to slowly rise until we're at $10 million. I'm sorry, like 100. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm not the guy who's going to say that, right? And like, but I do know that long-term investors want opportunities to DCA, right? And they're not going to buy a chart that just spiked 100x and then fell down, and they're not going to go all in at that, and that's just reality. So let's stay based, right? That's the most important thought here. There are going to be buying opportunities. Price will go up, price will go down, and when it goes down, there are many people on the sideline right now that are looking for a good deal. So So for starters, there's that. Okay. And I mean, that's just the reality of how people operate, right? In the
Yeah.
long-term perspective. So and you got to think like Warren Buffett on that. You're going to buy this and you're going to hold it for a solid year. Like
Yeah.
that's sort of the approach there, right? So second to that is well,
Yep.
if you're gonna do this midterm play, right? Like I want to buy it and swing trade it. You're gonna buy like a stack, and you're gonna want a significant stack, and then you're gonna want to sell it at the top or whatever. You know what? Don't do that. Just get like a stack, and if you want to swing trade it, you're welcome to do it. Just do it with like 30% of your bag because you don't know how much you're going to be able to buy back when
Yeah.
it comes down. You know what I mean? So like that's not financial advice. I'm just saying, because
Right.
like there's going to be a point when the market goes nuts and there's only one direction, but we're not there yet,
Right.
and it's going to take a while, especially after the recent price action in Bitcoin. It's definitely going to be like a rocky road for a little bit. So let's be realistic. Let's be based about what the project is doing. And if you have money that you wanted to sell tomorrow, I'm not saying dump it, but I'm just saying understand that this is not a short-term gig. It might
Right.
be. We might get lucky, but that's just
Well,
win moon, and we don't
yeah.
win moon here. We have
Well,
a
yeah.
base attitude, and we're looking to be like that. Like the other people just hurt us.
Yeah. So the thing is,
Uh,
like when I was saying short term, it's mainly the short term direction of the project. All projects, like when you start anything, there has to be a vision as to where it's going to go.
okay.
There's like
That
short
was the
term
other
goals.
part.
Yeah. There's like short term goals, mid term goals,
There's
and then long term
utility.
goals, right?
Yes, I have three major utilities, and I believe Jake
Right.
covered at least one. I don't know if he talked about speaking to the artists that are building Coco. Did he cover that? Because I did miss a portion of this.
Not sure if we went over the artist portion, to be honest, but if you want to elaborate on it,
Okay,
that's fine.
so we know about the AI utility, right?
Yeah.
I actually want to expound on that a little bit, just because like those NFTs are half built. There's 100 and something available right now, but then there's another 200 that are going to be built, and I have like an interface in Telegram where the community is actually going to build the last half of them should there be a demand for that. So we're waiting to see how that rolls, right? So
Yeah.
that's the first thing. We'll have like some automatic Coco AI image generator in the Telegram or wherever it ends up, right? So like that's a utility, right? And then another utility is we have so the thing about Coco is like when Caro made the original.
Oh, we lost him.
You lost who?
Oh, there you go. You're back. No, we were losing you on audio, but you're back now. When Carol made the original,
Oh, okay.
then you cut off. Yeah.
So when Caro made the original Coco, 100 artists joined in, and these artists are unsung heroes because they're really the ones who made this happen, right? Because
Right.
all Caro did was sign his name, right? And then everybody else was like, okay, well, I'm going to put my spin on this, right? And like those guys deserve credit for those images they made. That art is amazing. They've done leagues of good for Coco, right?
Yeah.
And they've put it on their Twitter feeds and marketed themselves and trying to bring that up. And as a whole, the entire community has benefited from it, right? So that's why we're here today, is we're here to actually support those artists, right? Like, so I have a pretty big collection of rare Cocos. I don't know if Jake talked about that, but there's a thing on Bitcoin called Rare Coco. I have a pretty large collection of that myself, and I'm willing to give away a large, portion of it to support the community, right? And so we're going to be doing giveaways, but it's been like kind of difficult to get organized on that, and it's going to be a initiative in the near future to start getting that kind of concept going. And I want to make sure it's good with the guy that I've got doing marketing. So like,
Right.
there's sort of some coordination that needs to happen to make that work, but it's coming up, right? And there's some really good artists out there that I want to support,
Right.
and we're going to use this foundation, this platform to support those artists, and it's going to go something like this: you have to buy Cocoa, or you have to be a new buyer of Cocoa on ETH in order to receive a NFT of what flavor, I don't know, because we have 5 different NFT projects. So like that's kind of how that's going to roll out. And then the third utility of this is sort of a Ethereum level utility, right? Because like you have to look at the big space in general for this concept, okay? And what we had happen here, right, is that ETH fees went crazy, right? Nobody wants to pay $200 to sell their ERC20 token, right? So a big problem that Ethereum has, generally speaking, is people don't want to pay for the transaction fees. And when you're talking about memes in particular, you know, that's kind of why they went to Solana recently, you know, because they can get memes for cheap on Solana, right? But the real, you know, the deep wallets and the volume and the actual utility of financial transactions and those sort of things are on Ethereum and Ethereum layer 2s, right? So like when you think about that subject in general, right, what you're thinking about is how can we get this this user base of Solana guys who've just left the space because everything's too expensive to come back, right? Because we kind of do need them, right? In a way, as an ETH maxi, right? I'm not an ETH maxi. I hold Bitcoin, you know. That's my main stack, you know. But like, but you understand what I'm saying? Right. It's like I believe in ETH. I think that it has a future, you know. So like, how do we do that, right? So that's the problem I'm trying to solve here. So the first thing I've done is I've just started looking at Arbitrum, which is a layer 2 on ETH. And if you don't know anything about Arbitrum, it's basically Ethereum. You can deposit Ethereum into Arbitrum. It becomes Ethereum on Arbitrum, and you can use it to buy and sell stuff on Uniswap over there. Right. Okay. So like, in order to do that with an ERC20 token, you have to move the token into Arbitrum, right? Which involves locking it into a contract on Ethereum, and it unlocks on Arbitrum. Yeah. And then you can go to the Uniswap pool there and trade it, right? So I want to bring users to that because they can buy and sell their Cocoa for 20 cents a transaction there, right? And that sounds like an incentive that would work for a lot of other meme coins like Pepe. Okay, so maybe Pepe's already over there. I'm not quite sure, but what it involves is community incentives to do that, right? So for instance, perhaps there is a way to reward the users with Cocoa on Arbitrum and to get them sort of schooled up on what that means, right? And it also involves getting arbitrage bots to actually arbitrage between the Uniswap pool on ETH and the Uniswap pool on Arbitrum, right? And then and now once we do that and we get that system going and we've onboarded some people into that, then we don't want to spread the liquidity too thin, but we want to keep it on the pure and natural with Ethereum, right? So that's kind of like the third initiative is to how can we help Ethereum out in this? Because the big picture is actually about our mother token, right? Like I think it's very important to keep that in mind.
Correct. So quick thing, we're going to get to wrapping it up. We might be doing a second portion of this so we can get more questions answered. But for now, we're running on time, I think. We've been for about an hour and 9 minutes on the stream. I just got to wrap up Bitcoin Ethereum. If you want to stay on the chat, and then we can talk about it a little bit more afterwards. I think it's an interesting project. As I said, guys, you know, we understood a little bit better why we had this crazy rallies and why it's dropping a little bit again. As per what Snow Kid is saying, we're looking more for the project's looking more for long-term holders. So the project, not so much short-term holders. So again, if you're going to be doing swing trading, if you just want to do day trading, this might not be the project to do it on, as the outlook for the project is more of a, let's say, fundamental traders, right? You want to hold a position trader. So they're looking for people that are going to be holding on to the project more for the long term than the short term gains. Now, what does that entail? That just basically entails purchasing and hodling. Like I mentioned earlier, if that's something that is of interest to you guys, if you have like, a couple dollars to spare that you wouldn't mind, instead of buying a cup of coffee, buying a project that might do something, it could go somewhere. This might be a project that you could invest those $5 into. Again, it's not financial advice as always, but it is a project that is there and it is community driven. Again, developers are no longer there, so the initial developers no longer attached to the project, and whoever were the initial actors that were trying to get this project to be a rock pool back on July when it launched. And if we looked at the charts, if you remember, it was way back. Those guys are no longer in the project. So way back here, all that is gone. So community took over, right? Community took over and it's been going up. Part of the reason that we got the spike again, as per what Snowkid said and Jake said, is the original developer of this project made a comment that he was going to launch a new project, and people started to research what he had done in the past, and obviously sparked some interest. So a lot of inflow of cash came in. Right now, it's all going to be basically a game of retention. There's a lot of attention coming to the project. Project needs to retain that attention. If it starts to lose the attention, that value is probably going to drop down a little bit more. So right now that the eyes are on it, the ideas have to start become well cemented, as per what Snowkid is saying and Jake was saying. There's plans as to where this project is going to go. There's at least 3 use cases for it. There's the AI factor, the community factor that's going to be developing some of the images as well, and there's going to be the the ETH contract factor. So there's at least some use cases for it that are being looked at. So that's always pretty good. There's some kind of plan in place and community driven. That's the best, because then you're able to give your input, and if it's good enough, your ideas are going to be heard. With that said, again, Snowkid, thank you very much for stopping by. Jake, thank you very much for stopping by. I'm going to mute here the voice chat so people are not going to be able to hear you anymore. We're going to wrap up the stream here by going back to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ADA real quick, and then we can have a quick chat after we're done. So if you guys want to say bye before we finish this segment, and then I go back into the charts, so that'll be awesome, right?
Hey, thanks a lot, guys, for having us on. It's most appreciated. And,
yeah, no problem.
Cheers to all.
All right. Jake, any parting words before we stop this portion and move back to charts?
That's it. Just thanks for having us, and choose rich.
All right. Awesome. You heard Jake. Choose rich. All right. That's going to be it right now. We're going to keep going back to Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm going to wrap it up real quick, guys. Again, Bitcoin wrap up, right? We got to see what's going on here with the charts, man, with the Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin going to go? Are we going to go rich or are we going to go poor? We're still dropping, right? We're still dropping, sitting at 61,422. Now we're in the red, guys. Remember we said we want to stay above the 62K line. Otherwise, it's a drop to the 54K zone. We don't want to go there. I'm waiting for the chart to load. It's just taking forever. As soon as the chart loads, we're going to be looking at this. So I forgot to mute myself here in the chat. Sorry about that, Jake. So let's keep wrapping this up. Again, I'm just waiting for the chart to load up. It's just not bringing it up for some reason. Here we go. Come on, load up. Play ball. And we're still waiting. All right, so guys, what do you think about the project? What do you think about Coco? If you have any questions, drop them on the chat. You can drop them on the Discord as well. We're going to prepare them, and then, we're going to address them next time we bring in the Coco team back on. And we're able to further discuss the project, see how they're progressing, see what else is in store. Probably go a little bit more in depth and try to make it on a time frame where, Snowkid's also more available. Again, he's in Thailand, so it was like a big time difference. Here's back to Bitcoin, okay? So again, this is a chart we're looking at. We really, really want to stay close above 62,423. We talked about that earlier. Below this level, right? We're looking for a drop. Again, if we remove this equidistant rising channel that I had here from like a way back when, a drop of this level. Look at it. Once we broke the 54,230, it was a quick rally all the way up to the 62,423, which is where we're at right now. We're breaking below that area. Breaking below the zone is problems. That means we tank to the zone. That's a quick drop. There's not a lot of support. We know there's fibs that are going to try to get us to hold, but they're not the strongest, right? So we can go from here again, and then we're just going to use this as the low, and if I could just get it there anchored, and this is the high, right? If we were to fib this, We're about to hit the 382. That might act as a semi-support, right? That's going to be 60,338. We said we're also going to fiv Bitcoin towards the end of the stream. We're fiving it right now. 50% retrade is going to get us here. 56,348, and the 618 is going to get us way down here at the 50,000, which happens to be almost where we have support here at 50,119. So very, very close to that zone. That is if we go for the 618. So that is a potential target that is slightly below the 54K. Again, we want to hold that 54K. If we don't, we're looking at 119, right? That's the target. We talked Bitcoin downside. We have the hidden divergence. We are trying to go for that rally. 4-hour chart. Remember, we're going to confirm if we still have it. We had bullish divergence strong. We didn't manage to hold the previous candle on the green. It was green when we were looking at it. It was looking good. Now, the strong bullish divergence is still there, fortunately enough. We're kind of getting rid of it here on the RSI, right? So if we go here, we look at it, it's 29.83. Here's 29.85. It's almost gone. So we want to hold on to this bullish divergence. That's what gets us to rally. Dropping that bullish divergence again, hello, 54,196, right? There's no other way. That's where we go. Very likely. Again, not a lot of supports in the zone. So really, really got to hold this. This bullish divergence has to do its trick. Otherwise, we're in for trouble. Again, as mentioned, the best thing we could do is get a small rally from here and then drop a little bit more. At that point in time, maybe create some more bullish divergence strong and then go for the rally. But this bullish divergence has to hold. Otherwise, it's not going to be good. That means the bullish indicators are failing to play out. That means the bears are taking control. And that means the market could start turning south. Maybe not long term, but at least for the pullback that we were expecting. Remember, a couple of streams ago, we said pullback. We're starting the pullback. Bullish divergence here also in the 1 hour. Look at it. Trying to go up. Right now, we're coming lower than the previous low, right? So that gets us to where, guess what? This moves a little bit, right? This changes. If we drop and we manage to close lower, that's going to go there. This is still going to come over here. And that is just still going to go over there. So the 1 hour is still going to be bullish. It's just the daily that is failing to play out this smaller time frame bullish divergences, right? So we're getting the small time bullish divergences in the 1 hour, the 4 hour. It's just the daily keeps bringing us down. So, wake up daily. Move up. Otherwise, we're going to be in for a nasty drop. We don't want to go to the 54,230. People are going to start to get scared. People are going to start coming on Twitter saying, well, we're dropping, over blah, blah, blah percent. Yeah, Bitcoin's done. The rally's done. Negativity is going to start coming back into the market. So probably fear and greed index we haven't looked at in a while. Might look at it tomorrow. But the drop from the high point to where we're at right now, right? We're looking at 16% drop. Not huge, but it's still significant. Now, if we drop to the target that I've talked about, right, from the high point here to the low point here, we're going to be looking at a 25% drop in value. That's not fun. People don't want to see an asset drop 25%. And that is if we go to the 52,119. We don't have the 54 here on the daily, right? So the drop happens to go to the fib, right? The fib here. Sorry, we do have the 54. Do we have the 54 here? Let's see, what is this here? 54,000. So we do have it. So for some reason I couldn't see it, but we do have that target there. But still, we go to the fib, right? It's not fun. That drop, not good. Not going to be fun for the market. Here, 54,000, that puts us 25%. That's what we're dropping to. 54,319. That's a quarter of the value in a matter of days. We also went up in a matter of days, but we're coming down a lot faster, right? It's not going to be good. People are going to stay saying Bitcoin's dead again. Losing 25% of an asset's value over a couple of days is never fun. So we definitely want to go there. This is going to start bringing a bearish sentiment. It might mean the, rally's over. I think it's pullback. I think it's correction. But, it could just mean that this rally's over for the time being until, the new rally starts. So just keep that in mind. Now, I want to be bearish about it, but the sentiment, if we drop to this level, it's going to start turning that way, right? Right now, it's still in an area that is, we could tolerate and say, well, yeah, it's good. We could still go from here. It's not the end of the world. Down here, 25% value, people are going to start getting scared. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum, 3,123. Man, same thing, right? Dropping like a sack of potatoes. Ethereum's probably going to be at that support, maybe breaking it. If it starts to break it, we're going to have support at the 2,000s. Right, so we're below the 3,158. Not fun. But if we keep on dropping, we're going to be looking for 2,891, right? And again, where we talked about this hidden divergence there, not really coming into play. Ethereum managed to hold and close at the same area we did open. Not good, right? That means the bears took over control. That's never a good candle. Gravestone's not looking fine. And we're also stating that, the bulls are not managing to hold on to the assets control. That is just never good. So bullish divergence strong still in play, still coming in, still trying to get us to rally. But again, for that to happen, Bitcoin has to play ball. We lost it against the MACD. We lost it against the RSI. We're still holding on to it against the MACD, but it's just barely there. Dropping further down is going to get us to lose that, okay? All right, let's do ADA real quick, and we're going to be wrapping it up. Someone say something about the Bitcoin monthly. We might go back and look at it. They say it looks scary. All right. We also talked about, I think, the monthly. We said we've just been rallying for the last 8 months or 7 months. And, we haven't gotten really a red candle. So we knew it was a possibility that we're going to get some kind of drops happening. All right, let's do ADA Hill real quick. Daily. Man, where are we at? Again, same thing. Wow. What? 618? We're at it? Crazy, man. We talked about it potentially hitting that zone. End of the retrace, right? Now we can start to look for that movement back up. That would be amazing if that happens. I'm just not sure if ADA is going to do it if Bitcoin keeps tanking, right? Because we said, all retraces tend to go to the 618. After 618, we do tend to get a rally coming up, unless we do a deeper retrace to the 786. But, it's just not looking like that's going to be the way right now because Bitcoin keeps dropping. This is going to keep dropping with it. So ADA, not looking too hot. Last time we had bearish divergence. Nothing bullish developing here. At least nothing that I can think we have. So I didn't delete anything. So this must be from a different time scale. And let's go here to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, we're looking for the bullishness. Again, something here from the 1 hour that is coming in to wreck the way the charts look. So we're just going to send it back to the 1 hour. And send this one back to the 1 hour. And then one of these ones should be from the 1 hour as well. Maybe this one. Yep. We're just going to send that one. That looks good enough. All right. So we had the bullish divergence. We've managed not to hold on to it at this level. So it's not really rallying, dropping to the zone. Again, the bullish divergence is still there against the MACD. Not anymore against the RSI. So just like Ethereum, we lost it. But ADA is still trying to get that, semi glimmer of hope that it wants to rally on the 4-hour charts. Again, a lot of the projects on the 4-hour have some bullishness, but it's failing to play out. And on the 1 hour, we're also seeing some of that bullishness is just failing to play out. The daily, still bearish for a lot of the projects, and we're still getting that bearish sentiment. So not fun, right? 1 hour chart. All right, in the 1 hour, we still have the bullishness. Yes, it looks like we have it against the MACD. We're going to check real quick against the RSI, so that's still there. That's all good. Still bullish. Still trying to get that action to the upside. And like Ethereum and Bitcoin, having this bullish here on the MACD. But it also has it against the RSI, right? So this one we kind of lost, I think. Let's zoom in here. Ooh, we managed to hold on to this one, barely. All right. So it didn't lose the old divergence that it had. It's creating new bullish divergence strong. Without a potential for action to the upside for ADA. Now the project... Again, it's just looking for the hope of a movement up. Whipping like a little child, trying to get that rally to come, but it just fell and scratched his knee, and there's no one there to console it, because that's the way life is sometimes. And this project is now here crying because the bulls are, scratching their legs and taking a drop. So not fun. Not a fun place to be. So the cries of the bulls are being the, I guess, honey droplets of the bears, if there's such a thing. They're putting those droplets on their almonds, I guess, or oats to have them for breakfast. So the bears are in control, right? Not fun. Adil says, we closed the month at 60K. That would be a big drop of money. Yeah, it could be. Let's see. We're going to go look at the monthly, see what's going on there, and try to figure out what we can do, okay? Monthly corn still green, so can't complain about that, right? Monthly Bitcoin still in the green. I know we look at another chart usually that's better. This one here is red. So let's see back here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 7th, March, just doing, problematic things for us. Now it's not looking super hot. You know what it's starting to look like? It's not going to be 100% accurate, but it's starting to look a little bit like this candle. Right, we were trying to rally and failed and ultimately crashed but bounced. If we get something similar happening here, that's not going to be a lot of fun. It starts to give us a different idea as to what could happen. All right, so something that would be happening here, and if you could look at where we're at as far as closing goes, y'all might be getting a good idea as to what I'm going to draw here. So that's one top. All right, this portion here, or you just want to call that the top, so that's one top. This would be the other top. And that would mean that we're double topping. Oh, not good. Not good at all. We definitely want to get out of this situation, so Bitcoin needs to get its act together and start pumping if we want this to be good in any way, shape, or form. Otherwise, closing the month below the previous monthly all-time high, that's back here. That would be 66. Sorry, that's a high. Where's it closing at? 61,347. It ain't going to be good. All right, so we want to hold this level. All right, we're unable to close a previous all-time high. It just means a rejection. That could lead us to drop where we try to rally again. It's not the end. It's just not going to be fun for a little bit, right? That's what we don't want. We want this to be fun, but we want it to be fun for, a little bit longer than it has been. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. We're going to be calling it a stream. Again, if you enjoy the show, you know what to do. Hit the like, hit the bell, hit the sub. Join us in the Discord. Links are somewhere. And thank you for stopping by and joining me tonight. Again, that's going to be it for today. And I'll catch you again tomorrow for another edition of TSO Crypto, right? Until then.